yes, Dr. Warts, go ahead, continue, please.
Yeah. So what I was, so the beginnings of slavery in America, though they begin in 1619, and though slavery officially ends in the mid 19th century, after the ending of slavery, then you have a very brief period of time in which African Americans began to gain political clout in the South that is very quickly quashed. I'm from Louisiana growing up, and it wasn't, I mean, this is something that we were not taught in Louisiana history at all, but one of the largest massacres of African Americans took place after the Civil War in Colfax, which is about an hour from where I grew up. And so in the 1870s, you begin ushering in a very brutal time of political and economic repression that takes a lot of different forms. It took the form of sharecropping. It took the form of new laws that were enacted to restrict the vote. It took the form of housing codes. It took a lot of forms, and it took all those forms until the 1960s. And even so, what you're talking about then is 100 years after the ending of slavery, you have the cumulative effect of another century of organized political, economic, and social repression. I mean, there is a book that came out several years ago that I think the title is Slavery by Other Names, or Slavery by Another Name. And while it may not have been official chattel slavery, the restriction effect is very much the same. Because when you're talking about the limits that are placed on the ability of persons to be able to organize, or to vote, or to own property, or to begin to have any sort of traction within society, you're creating like a class of persons that are like permanently entrenched. So anyway, so to get back to the question, I think the reason that we care about something that began 400 years ago is not only because it continued to happen for a century after its official end, but because we're still seeing the social and political and economic ramifications of it.